Today I'm very excited to share a custom creation with all of you and with you. What do you think?
Oh wow, that looks just like my buddy Dave.
What? No, it's you.
Oh yeah, it just looks like a friend of mine from the Empire.
Well, do you at least like it?
Yeah, I like it. My buddy Dave though, he would love that.
Hello all, I'm Josh, this is Josh Build Stuff, and today I am very excited to share with you a custom creation. This is something that I have designed and built entirely myself. Now obviously this uses some of the backing panels from the recent LEGO art sets, so my Iron Man art piece had to be sacrificed, but I think this is a worthy replacement. LEGO has given some decent representation to the dark side lately with the recent LEGO art The Sith set, which we just reviewed, so check out that video. But in my opinion, what we were lacking was a portrayal of the true might of the Empire, and that is, of course, the mighty Stormtrooper. Now, you may have noticed we're pretty big Stormtrooper fans in this house, so I wanted to create some art that would look great alongside existing LEGO art, but would show off one of my favorite characters from the Star Wars universe. Now, hopefully it is obvious from the art itself, but what I was going for was a kind of gritty, dark, raw, real version of Star Wars War, where the Stormtrooper is in, I don't know, a dark kind of environment. There's fire somewhere in the distance with that kind of cool ash effect blowing around. There's blaster fire all around. Some of that blaster fire can be seen in the reflection of the Stormtrooper's eyes. It's, like I said, a real gritty scene. Maybe the rebels are on the run. Maybe the Stormtroopers have been pushed back. Maybe this guy's just lost some of his trooper squad. Who knows, but either way I thought it would be cool to have a more real portrayal of a Stormtrooper instead of the usual goofy version that we get pretty often. Some of you may be wondering how I went about actually designing this piece, and there are many different ways to do so, but what I did was just Google LEGO Mosaic art. Now obviously you could find a picture that you really like and put it in Photoshop, do something to convert it to a simpler number of colors and a 48 by 48 pixel height and width, but that is not exactly the path that I went down. Like I said, I just Googled LEGO Mosaic Art Maker and went down the list of results, and eventually I found a site called 2brick.com. This is a relatively simple, albeit slightly outdated site that lets you upload your own image and then it will turn it into some version of LEGO art. Now it looks like this site was created before the LEGO art line was actually released, but you can set it to only 48 by 48 pixels and you can tell it to give you a design using only 1x1 studs. I think the colors were slightly outdated, so I had to do a little bit of translation there, and I did make some changes after the fact, but overall I am very happy with how the final result turned out, and it was very easy to convert the design that gave me to the real thing. After I got a relatively accurate list of the pieces and colors that I needed, I went to Bricklink and ordered a whole bunch of individual studs and got to building. I did go through a few candidates of potential Stormtrooper art that I might have wanted to use, but eventually I landed on this image. However, I then had to make a whole bunch of different coloration changes and check some contrast points. Eventually I ended up with this image, which I thought looked pretty good on its own, and once uploaded to 2brick.com, it looked pretty good as a mosaic as well. I think after ordering everything from Bricklink, the total for all the individual studs came to maybe 60 or 70 bucks, but like I said, I ordered a whole bunch of extra, and that price varied pretty heavily depending on the color of the piece that you were trying to order. But when it came to the build, I followed largely the same process that you would if you were building an official LEGO art set. That is to say that I went section by section across the grid, doing one 16 by 16 panel at a time, and then I connected them in the same way and built the same frame around them that you would for an official set. The build took right around 2 hours from start to finish, which I think was on par with how long the official LEGO art sets took to build as well. I've said it with both of the official LEGO art sets that I've built already, but this process is a little tedious, but in the end, the finished result is so worth it. So overall, I am very happy with how this piece turned out, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think it looks pretty darn good. Originally, I wasn't sure how much I would like it because it's a white subject, or mostly white subject, but the backing plates for these pieces are black, so I wasn't sure how much of that would show through. I was also a little trepidatious because of how many browns and tans I was building into this set, when obviously a Stormtrooper helmet is white, but in the end I think that all of the different coloration is really necessary to show all of the shading and shadows around the surprisingly complicated shape of a Stormtrooper's helmet. But let me know what you think about this art piece. Like I said, I'm pretty proud of it, so if you give me a negative review, it will probably hurt my feelings. That being said, I will respect your opinion, but just know you may be the reason why I cry at night. So a few brief housekeeping things related to the channel. First of all, we got a whole bunch of new subs in the last couple of weeks, so thank you so much and welcome. I hope you will stick around for a while. Secondly, in large part to those new subs, we are rapidly approaching that 1,000 sub mark. Again, thank you so much. But when we reach those 1,000 subs, I would like to do a Q&A video. So if you would like to know anything about me or this channel or this place or that Stormtrooper, let me know in the comments below or hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. I will see it no matter where you put it. And finally, if I were to make more or other versions of LEGO art like that, then let me know who you would like to see portrayed in that form. Because now that I've done it at least once, I kinda wanna make more art like that. As always, I very much appreciate you watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell a friend. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. You don't talk much about the war.
It was tough. I lost a lot of friends out there.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I don't know where they went.
Wait, what?
Like I said, I lost a lot of friends. Everyone was dressed the same as me. I couldn't tell anyone apart. It was really easy to lose track of each other. I'd be like, hey Dave, and they'd be like, I'm not Dave, I'm Greg, Dave's over there. And I'd go over there, and I'd be like, hey Dave, and they'd be like, I'm not Dave, who's Dave? I once called a guy Lewis for 3 months before eventually he corrected me and said, I'm not Lewis, I'm Rob. And I was like, then where's Lewis?